Good afternoon again, guys, or good morning, depending on where you are in the world. This is the Roaming Prepper. I'm your host, Pete, and thank you for joining me again. I have a series of videos because this whole this whole situation with in the Middle East has escalated, and it doesn't surprise anyone if you were paying attention. I'm just shocked they actually did it. Like the some of the maneuvering I see going on between the countries just blows my mind. Why did Israel attack the embassy in Syria? Could they have killed that guy another way? What's Iran thinking? Because they funded Hamas. I mean, this. If you go back, it's just a long string of angry for what 50, 100 years, maybe more. So it's hard for us in the West, since we didn't live that for the most part, to really relate to it. That being said, one of my other videos, I say what should we expect? What to do, what's going on, right? And I gave my 2 cents on that. I encourage you to watch that other one. On this video, though, what I want to talk about is what could we expect at home? Like truly, what will come home to us? Now, a lot of people are thinking extremes with the immigration. Oh, we're going to have like terrorist cells. Absolutely plausible. Maybe not, because if we can tie a terrorist cell to an action by a foreign country, we're going to go and beat that country up. What scares me is if people in our leadership want to have a fight with someone, they may have let the right people in to make that happen. So we now have an excuse to actually get into an issue with someone else. And then you go down the whole tinfoil hat. So I'm going to avoid that one for now. It is plausible, and I'm not ruling it out. I'm not saying it will happen. I want to talk about what the markets will do. Historically speaking, when something like this pops off, the stock market's going to take a massive crap within the next 2 to 3 days. So I'm thinking, I'm recording this on the 14th. So you guys will probably see this the 15th, 16th, 17th, somewhere around there. So it's Sunday night. My gut's telling me, because Russia and Iran are major OPEC contributors, we're going to watch the price of oil and gas take off. So I would recommend, if you have not already topped off, go top off. If you have extra bins in the shed or whatever containers, make sure they have stabilizer in them and see if they're full. If they are not full, go make them so if you can afford it and if you have the time to do so. But so in the short term, I expect fuel prices will go up. When oil gas goes up, shipping goes up. That includes ships, airplanes, and trucks. That will mean supply chain's going to get expensive again. We saw it during Rona for different reasons, but same phenomenon will occur. The price of oil and gas goes up. That means shipping costs go up. That means the price gets passed to the consumer. We're already in an inflationary environment, and the last inflation report was not great, nor was the jobs or unemployment. So this is going to kind of kick us. Um, right now, in the shorter term, we won't see supply chain lacking in the West, in Europe, US, Canada, Mexico. Um, because our supply chain's resilient, what we will see up front is going to be a cost issue. Then the panic may set in, and then you start having an availability issue, because a lot of people who are not paying attention, like we all try to, will then freak the frick out. They're gonna go to the store and they're gonna cause a bunch of shit and buy stuff they don't need, and then you have the toilet paper in the truck thing. You guys get it. So don't be in the stores when that panic hits. Um, you're also going to see a lot of puffery on the part of countries. Uh, now, there's a distinct possibility, now that Iran has directly attacked Israel, not through a proxy, but directly, a war could get declared formally. And if that happens, there are a lot of alliances that are overlapping that very much remind me of World War One. And you all remember how that wound up. So it's not good, especially if people try to honor it. Um, we could, England and France and Germany are already either instituting a draft. Most of them, a lot of them have like 2-year mandatory service, but they may start drafting people. Uh, right now, I think like in England, I think it's a lottery. Like you can do 2 years and they pick you from a lottery, but it's not a massive thing. It's just to keep like a basic military. You're going to see it amped up. When I went to see the movie Civil War, and not talking about the movie, but the advertisements before was a lot of military advertisements and very hoorah, not, oh, look at us and our, I'm diverse and whatever. Not that that's a bad thing, but it's distracting from the mission. The military's job is to go and defeat enemies, not to play politics. Because when we play politics with our soldiers and sailors and airmen and space force and all the other people are not prepared to do their job, then we send them to fight against countries that will take them prisoner and kill them anyway, and they're not going to be prepared for it. So seeing those commercials was eye opening. You're going to probably start hearing talk of a draft in the next month. It's going to take a while, maybe the next month. Right now, I think everyone's trying to stop this because if it gets really ugly in the Middle East, nobody benefits. China gets their oil from the Middle East, right? So China doesn't want that to happen. Russia has enough on its plate with Ukraine. There are a lot of moving parts that don't need to be moved. There are a lot of buttons and switches that don't need to be turned and flipped on. So I'm hoping saner minds prevail. I'm not holding my breath because I'd be dead. We don't know. I wouldn't have thought Hamas would go unprovoked and beat up Israel and then get the crap knocked out of them. I mean, they made no sense anyway. What did they were trying to accomplish? All they did was get Gaza Strip obliterated. The point being, you're going to see the prices go up. You're going to see supply chain get expensive. You're going to see energy get expensive. Then as the reality sets in, you're going to start seeing the panic buying. And we've seen this drill before. And then I wouldn't be surprised you're going to start hearing, you've been hearing a lot about how the military is not making its objectives on recruitment. You're going to start hearing about, well, if they won't volunteer, we might have to draft. And you're going to hear that. And here's secret squirrel for a lot of the flower child people who don't want to be involved in a war. um, if the US gets into it, NATO gets into it. So where you going to go? If you go to Mexico and overstay your visa in that country, you go to freaking jail. Argentina's the same way. You could go to Venezuela. You can have fun in Venezuela. I think that would be worse than going to war, personally. You run to Canada like they did during Vietnam. Canada is a NATO ally. They're going to arrest you and send you back. And then you're either going to go to Leavenworth or they're going to stick you on the front line somewhere. You can't go to Europe. You could go to China, but that's going to be terrible too. So basically, you're going to start seeing a lot of people starting to freak out on social media about possible drafts. Will they do it? I don't know. Even if they chose to, it'll take at least a month to 2 months to get it through Congress, the bill passed, negotiations, etc. So, recap, fuel prices are going to go up because it just makes sense. I'm not being clairvoyant. I don't have ESP. It just makes sense. Russia and Iran are two major OPEC providers, and we're fighting all around the oil fields and the Suez Canal. Makes sense. So fuel prices will go up. The market's going to take a dump. Give it about a week or less. People will then start to freak out. Then there'll be panic buying, and then you can't find stuff, not because it's not available, but because somebody hoarded it instead of calmly prepping it the way we're supposed to, the way most of us do. Um, then you're going to hear panic about the possibility of drafts and going to war. Now, I will say, if things really expand where we get involved, Iran can't take us on in the ocean, they can't take us on in the air, but they've got very asymmetric ways of hitting us. They cyber attacked Israel before they attacked, just the same way the Russians cyber attacked Ukraine. We would be stupid to think that they would not cyber attack us. So today, I'm going to start printing out my bank statements because I shredded the old ones and never printed the new ones. I'm going to get around to that right after this video. Print out my bank statements, maybe take a little bit extra cash out. If you have gold and silver, doesn't hurt. Texas is about to pass a law saying that gold and silver that is legitimately minted in 1 ounce denominations can be considered an exchange within the state. That's pretty cool. Makes you wonder if Texas is planning something, but I'm not going to say any more on that. Um, if you have family and military, especially if they've gotten out in less than the last 4 years, they may be eligible for what's called IRR, which is essentially independent individual ready reserve. God, I just forgot what it's called. I feel like an idiot because I've used the phrase like 4 times this weekend. Anyway, basically means they can get recall. Those of you who are older and more gray in the muzzle, chances are that won't be where you go, but they may have civil defense needs, Red Cross needs, your local sheriff may need volunteers to help patrol. Because if saboteurs do happen, I mean, it happened in World War II. We had saboteurs attack the U.S. railroads and docks, the Nazis and the Japanese. It makes sense it could happen again, especially since we let a God knows how many people into the country and we didn't check all of them. So we don't know who the hell's here. These are things that could be happening, but that would be much later and only if it went in a very bad direction. Again, upfront, market's going to tank. Fuel, oil, gas, propane, butane going to go up. Because of that, shipping will go up. Then the price of goods will go up. Then the public will freak out and they will hoard buy shit instead of planning it out. And then you're going to see everything kind of tweak out if they can't come to a conclusion. What's your takeaway? Don't be the tweak out person. Really simple. Have some cash, check your preps. You're gonna probably have missed something. That's okay. I missed something. I went and just found like 10 cans of different food that had expired, but they fell behind something else. I didn't see them 3 months ago when I last checked the pantry. Um, that's fine. Get what you need calmly, stay on budget, go home, put it away, and then pick another prep and do that. And I often tell people pick one prep every weekend, spend 2 hours on it, and then leave it alone. To, for the next few weeks, I would recommend pick a prep every day. Spend 30 minutes on it. Just that. Batteries. Check your battery inventory. Good, not good. Need some double A's or whatever. Get what you need, put it away. Done. Don't freak out. Don't give yourself a heart attack. The next day, check your water. Oh, I need another case of water. Go get a case of water. $5. Done. Right? This is how we do it. Pick a prep a day for the next few weeks anyway. It's we're headed into hurricane season anyway and wildfire season in some states. You'll use it for something. If nothing else, the kids will be using it for summer soccer and baseball and whatnot. Anyway, that's all I got for you this time. Remember, the fuel's going to take off because now two OPEC members are involved in shooting wars. That's something new that has not happened in a very long time. Till next time, you guys be careful, be safe. If I hear anything good and juicy, I will let you know. Godspeed. I'll see you on the next video.